Welcome, friends, to KJ's Cartomancy, the article we do for Rock Metaphysical every month. This is the August edition. Again, I'm here with Allie. Thankfully, we enjoy having Allie with us very much in her ideas and opinions. And sorry we missed last month. We had a few things going on, but
Life happens.
we've been trying to think about what we want to talk about, and today we're talking about cartomancy rituals, what we do before we start, different things we like to add to our table or whatever we're using at the time.
Yep.
Sometimes we don't use anything.
Nope.
Because we just can't. We don't have the time, the space, whatever's going on where we're doing it. But when we have the comfort of our home or area, we do like to do certain things.
Some people have travel altars, like the little mini kits they take with them. Some people can just go into a Walmart parking lot and throw down cards. I'm the latter. That's me. But when I'm at home, sometimes I'll light a candle. I actually have a blue candle, like this one back here, that I do when I'm going to be doing readings. I have a friend who makes, she's a Haitian voodoo initiate, and she makes the best Florida water on the planet, and I just spray everything in it. The deck, myself, everything. I keep black and clear crystals in with my decks to jack up the vibration, but also clean off all the energy of everybody who's being read. And I just kind of center myself, take a couple breaths, and just go. And the way I can tell that I'm hacked in, as I call it, while I'm shuffling is I get like this full body shiver. And that's how I know that I'm accurately connected to whoever I'm reading long distance. Because 99% of my readings are online. So I don't have the person shuffling sitting in front of me. It's all long distance.
Now, most of mine, I mean, I do a lot online, don't get me wrong, but most of mine are usually in person. And when I do in person, I do make them shuffle the deck. There are a lot of us who do not care for anyone to touch their deck. For me, I need that vibration on that deck because then I get the most accurate reading of all. And I know my people are blown away because they tell me all the time, they're like, oh my God, it's like you just read my life. You know? But for me, I do put down the bowl of water. I always fill the water and then I throw it outside. It's just thrown out to get it out of the house or wherever I'm trying to work. And I even carry that with me when I go different places. I take crystals.
Why do you have the bowl of water?
Well, I have the bowl of water to pull the negativity away, especially if there's a lot on the person that's with me. I also, and I do work in a bar on occasion doing this, and when I do it, I take my spray sage and I spray down the area I'm in, the chair, the whole 9 yards, and if I feel like there's negativity that wasn't pulled, I'll spray it again.
Yeah, in between readings.
Light candles. I almost always light candles, even when I go somewhere. I make sure I take that. I take crystals with me that call to me for that particular time and moment.
I have friends who they have to have like the person's full name and birth date, or just like the day and the month to do a reading. And I mean, if that's the way they do it. That works for a lot of people. I don't need it.
No,
I've never tried it.
Almost don't want people to tell me. I mean, I introduce myself. I'm KJ, and I'll shake their hand. And if they give me their name, even just that's fine. But I don't ask. Yeah, I just give the reading. And sometimes they have people who, I don't know if it's that they're scared or they think, I don't know if they think I can just look it up all of a sudden while I'm sitting there. But they walk into my area and they just stare at me want me to do whatever, and they're like giving me this weird
deer and
vibe and light, you know, the way they look and whatever, and they won't say anything, like almost like they're afraid if they open their mouth for anything, it's going to give it all away.
I hate that. I like feedback during my readings.
Yeah.
I do it all during like text, so I'll shuffle, do the spread, interpret it, take a picture of the card, like here, this is what it means, and like this is what I see for you. And then I like the person to like respond to each one, so we're having a conversation.
Yes. Me
And
too.
then if I just have like text them the whole thing, and I'm like, "Are you still there? We good?" And they're like, "Mm-hmm. Thank you. This was great and illuminating." And I'm like, "Great," because I don't feel like you got anything out of it, but okay.
Yeah, that's the tough part about doing that type of reading. When I have them right in front of me and they just don't want to speak, they just stare at me. The other night I did two like that. And the girls, just tears started streaming down their face when I got halfway through it. And I was like, "Are you okay? Like, can I, nope, just keep going." And I was like, "Okay." And I just kept going. So everybody's got their way, but I think there's some people that say don't ever say anything, but I don't feel that way. I feel like if we can have a conversation where I can understand what I'm being told,
Mm-hmm.
I can give you a more personalized, maybe. Like I'm giving you what I'm giving you, and everybody understands what I'm telling them. However, I feel like I can personalize it more for them if they're like, "Oh my God, yeah, my boyfriend did this or that."
Yeah.
And you just explained it, and then more will come to me. A lot of times, what happens to me, I'll have spirits visiting me the earlier in the day or the day before, and they're kind of like trying to get something across to me, and then they show up for the reading.
You don't know who they are when they first come up.
No,
Who
there's
they're
just
attached
something
to.
there. I feel it's a man or a woman or whatever. But I do have that a lot myself. I use a crystal on top of mine to clear them. That's how I do. I'm not one that's big on saging or doing that with my cards when I first get them. A lot of people do. I just put the crystal on it, and sometimes I pray.
That's a whole
Over.
other discussion we
But-
could do, how to break in a deck.
Yeah, there's so many different ways, that I just think it's fascinating myself.
There's so many. There's 1,001 ways to read any kind of divination, cartomancy. Everybody's got their routines, their rituals. I have people that I have read in public for who will take a whole tarot deck, throw it up in the air like 72 card pickup, and then just go pick them all up and then hand them, and that's how they shuffle.
Oh no.
Because when you ask people to shuffle the deck, I tell them shuffle however you want, as long as you want, till you feel like you're done.
That's what I say. I do the same thing.
Throws a card up in the air, the whole deck, and then picks them all up and hands it to me, and it works. That's how and that's the other thing. The shuffle and the deck, for me, adapts to the person and the reading.
Yeah.
So I don't have one way to shuffle. Sometimes I'll be shuffling and a card will jump out, and normally I do read jumpers, but sometimes you just know that, like, that's not a jumper, it's just the deck being weird.
I pay attention and see if it comes back up in a different position.
Yeah, if it comes up again, then definitely.
Yeah.
But everybody's got some people only, like, cut it into 3 and then put it back. Some people
Or they
just,
flip and they flip out and they
Yep.
take that.
and it's just, some people will shuffle for, like, literally 5 minutes. Like, rifle shuffle for 5 minutes, and the deck works for that.
Yeah.
Some people just literally come up and go, and it works.
Right. I clear it. I shuffle to clear it. Then I hand it to them. Have them shuffle. And then when I'm all done and I pick it up, I shuffle.
Mm-hmm.
So then even when the next person comes, I'll shuffle again.
Yeah.
Because I'll put my crystal on. Then I'll shuffle it to clear it again and then give it to them to do it. And it always works out very, very well for
Mhm.
me. But again, every person is an individual in how they, what their background is, what their ancestors are, what, training they had, what works for them.
Some people won't read reversals when the card's
Right.
upside down. Some people will, if a card comes up, so this is upright. This one is reversed. It's upside down. And you can't tell from the top of the deck which way
No.
is up or down. So if it comes up reversed, some people will just pop it up and read it like it's upright. And if their deck knows that's how they read, that works for them.
Mm-hmm.
But if you do read reversals, you know And people will say, "Oh, how do you know you're not just putting the deck upside down?" Well, the way I rifle shuffle, half the deck ends up being upside down anyway. And it's just, I can put it down this way and read, and it'll get the same as if I put it down that way and read for somebody. Your
Yeah.
deck just knows. It puts things where they need to be. It might not be the exact
Puts
same
it in
cards.
your hand the way you need it to
Yeah.
be for what you do.
The same message will pass, even if it's two different sets of cards.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's like
deck knows you.
personalized. Yeah,
Mhm.
and how you work. And for me, I mean, we could read the same exact spread,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna read something possibly very different with different cards, because what is spoken to Allie from somewhere else,
Mm-hmm.
it means a whole different thing to me.
Mm-hmm.
When I put down the Lover's card, I always tell people, please, that is not what you think it is. For me, that works as contracts, that works as partnerships,
It's
more
business.
business. It's not the Lovers that's the Two of Cups for me.
Yeah.
When I see that, that's love, or falling out of love if it's upside down or
When
whatever.
the Lovers comes up for me, it's unhealthy. It's unhealthy obsession and attachments. It's an uneven relationship. It can be business if it's in like a business spread, but if it's in a relationship spread and it comes up, it's, for me, there's too much give and not enough take. There's not enough reciprocation, and it's got a tendency to go towards jealousy and obsession and controlling very quickly.
Well, I've got contracts always with Lovers.
Yeah.
Contracts are what come up, and like, please read the fine print. Please pay attention to everything, that it doesn't go one-sided, that it's a mutual thing. Change what has to be changed for you, so
Mhm.
you're not taken advantage of. That's how it usually reads for me. But then if I hear something else, I could hear something, and whatever I would read on a card normally would be something totally different, but that's what it triggered, the spirit that's for them.
And that's another thing. There's each card has a set, like, this is what this card means, da 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 da. And when it comes up in wherever, it means different variations of that. However, with intuitive tarot, cartomancy, divination of any kind, you could throw down the Two of Cups, which is normally a relationship, but if you've got one of their people in your ear telling you something that is not what that card means, that's what you say.
Yeah.
Because your intuition, it doesn't matter if the card is different. What you're being told to pass is what you need to pass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And another thing, like we were saying with lighting candles and stuff, I light candles to deities. This is Yamiya. I have a candle lit for spiritual, you don't have to show it, but for spiritual enlightenment, or
Activation.
yeah, for us, it's a yellow one.
Mm-hmm.
I light different things if I'm trying to do healing. For me, it's a green. That's
Yeah.
what I do a lot. They all have different meaning, and that's what we do. For that, to me, I try to pull in as much spirit as I can for us to read and to
Using all the
do
elements,
this,
too.
and I often put on Tibetan gong music,
Mm-hmm.
because it's healing and peaceful and helps for spirits on both sides, whoever I'm reading for and myself. I try to keep something like that on. I don't have it on today like I normally do, but
It's true, she does though.
I do usually have it on.
I'm vouching.
But I don't know about you, if you put on a certain kind of music, or
I've gotten to the point where, because I do most of my work from home, I can just have the TV with whatever's playing, like, just low in the background, and it doesn't matter because I'm in what I'm doing. So I can, when I'm doing Reiki, I definitely do that. But with tarot and oracle, it could be anything. Sometimes if I'm having a hard time connecting because I'm tired, or the client has got some weird, like, when they got the
They drain
sludge or
you.
something around them,
yeah, they'll drain
then
you.
I have to have like perfect silence, and I have to really concentrate, and it's harder for me to hack in. But sometimes if people are just so open and like willing, it could be like in a bar where it's super loud and noisy and chaotic, and you can read accurately.
Yeah, it all depends on.
It really, honestly, how
How
you
you
read
work.
depends on the client.
Mhm. And I was always used to when I first started. It was always at big parties, and the chaos and
Loud.
everything. And I just learned, I hear what I hear, and I give what I give through it. And they've always come back to me the next year. I've had people come back and, oh my God, you saved my life. You told me to go to the doctor. And I don't give any, bad messages or anything like that. But if I'm told someone needs to get to the doctor and just get checked out, well, they caught cancer early and it saved them.
Yep.
It's a positive message. It's like, go get the help you need, and there is someone that's going to help you or whatever, and that's important, obviously.
Yeah,
A lot of
never
people-
talk about like death
No.
or even birth. Don't talk about birth. Don't talk about
Mm-mm.
death. Don't talk about. I don't even like to talk about, like, if I see in the cards that somebody's potentially going to be cheating down the line, I won't even say anything then, because sometimes it's just because we see it doesn't mean you need to know it. There's things that we can't tell people because their whole path is to walk into it blind, and that's the lesson for them.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of like discernment on our part of, hey, I see this, how do I phrase it in a way that won't completely ruin your lesson for you.
In your life.
You can't interrupt other people's karma.
Right. Yeah. And I've had where I tried to read for somebody that really wanted to know. Apparently they were dying, and I was not getting that message, because then they would have missed the message they needed to get,
Through the
or
dying
the
experience.
not the experience they needed to have.
Mm-hmm.
If they'd have known too much, they might have done something different, and that would have changed everything.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yep. Sometimes you just don't need to know what you want to know.
Right.
And the cards will show you what you need to know over what you want to know.
Yeah.
We have no control over that.
Another thing is afterwards, and I don't know if you hear this from a lot of people now. A lot of my friends will say, "Did you get your chocolate? Go get your chocolate as soon as you're done with the reading. Go get the chocolate. You have to
You need that sugar boost.
Yeah, and there's something in the
Straining.
chocolate itself that you need psychically, I guess. So you always got to keep some chocolate
Well,
somewhere."
it's funny because, like, scientifically, chocolate has, it does trigger the release of, like, dopamine and serotonin.
Mm-hmm.
It's also an
Euphoria.
aphrodisiac.
Yep.
Yep. So
And we
it's-
need to replenish what has been taken from
So
us
draining.
through doing this, because this is a passion, and that's a passion.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
So it's pretty amazing what we learned.
That might be why cameraman Jason back there is such a chocoholic. He's one of the most psychic people I've ever met in my
Channeling
life.
steadily.
He will wake up in the middle of the night and destroy a Kit Kat bar. Next morning, it looks like a candy graveyard, just wrappers every crumbs. And he's a double Pisces, and just constantly in it, on it. He's always in tune,
Yeah,
and the man just can't get enough chocolate.
it's amazing how it works. Listen, I don't make the rules.
Nope.
You just have to follow them, right?
Yep.
If you're gonna force me to eat the chocolate, I guess.
Listen, if you tell me I have to eat chocolate ganache cheesecake after a reading, then by
it's the rules.
honey, you gotta go to Weggies. It's not, the ancestor said. It's not me. Athena told me.
Exactly.
Apparently. Deities. I have my oracle deck today. My Greek oracle deck. We'll see what we see for August, by the way. The oracle deck, when it comes up reversed, I do flip it upright. Because oracle is like a fluffier version of tarot. But it's also more direct.
I was just gonna say the directness of it is there.
We have pulsar, comfort, stability, regularity. Pulsar is a type of star. This whole deck is like astronomy, constellation. That's why I like it. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of comfort, stability in home. It's summer, barbecue season. Everybody's hanging out with the family. That's the vibe I get from that. Venus pops up, which is funny because we've been talking a lot about Aphrodite off camera. Beauty, love, relationships. Again, summer. It's hot girl summer. If you're the younger generation, you'll understand that. It's just that summer love. Literally, Greece is what I'm getting. Satellite. Oh, hey, here's love. Here's Venus. Satellite, which looks like a kind of intimidating card, but it really isn't, is just literally your support team constantly orbiting around you. Whether it's people in your physical life, your ancestors, your spirits, your deities, your house gnomes, whatever. It's just your whole team is around you all the time, so don't sweat it. You're fully supported. You are divinely protected and favored. And then Earth, which is healing, home. That's 2 home cards for me. Protection. It's very much like a healing summer. August is going to be about healing and like resetting, coming back into your bones, in your home, in your family routines and rituals. 2020 and 2021 now have been wild, and it's really pushed a lot of us out of our comfort zones and out of like just safe spaces, and really rattled a lot of us, and a lot of us have lost a lot. And August is going to be, I feel very much about settling into the new routine, the new now, finding that rhythm again in life.
Yeah, going into the fall, I think it's what we need to get back to comfort. I feel like fall is
before
going to
the
be
season of death,
a little more comforting for us this year, and
which means we need to decorate for Halloween next week.
yeah.
Cameraman Jason.
All right. So my deck is so old. I can't remember exactly the name of the deck, but it's more of an oracle deck, and I love it. It's
An
just,
oracle this time.
Yeah. We do a lot of tarot. I figured we could kind of step away from it for a bit.
Oracle's less strenuous to interpret too.
So Kissed is the one that we have here, and I feel like it is a time of love.
Mm-hmm.
I think people are finally coming together and feeling safer, and it's been such a tough time being separated from people, and I feel like even, and not just lovers, it's like the love of family and things, supporting each other and just being loved again, because you've had to be so separate.
It's been so feared lately.
Yeah, to touch somebody, to come near them, to love them, to kiss them, and it's starting to change, thankfully. I mean, I know that we're struggling with still more with the corona and things like that, but more people are just like, I can't take it anymore, I need that. And you have to have that interaction, that love, that support from the people that you love and that love you. Dreams. I feel like some dreams are going to start coming true finally. We've long awaited. I think a lot of us during this time, we did a lot of soul work. I think we did the time alone, bringing us peace, time to think, time to just cultivate a new way, and not just because our whole environment changed through everything, but within ourselves.
Necessary.
Yeah,
For humanity.
It's like a cleansing. It's been a
Mhm.
cleansing of the earth, because Mother Nature will make it happen one way or another, as she has. And
It's like eclipses.
with us having time to really think about where we're going, because everything stood still for so long, having that peace and peace of mind, if you really took that time like you should have, then I think you're just in a much better place, and your dreams are going to start coming true, because you're going to put them into action now that you've set them into motion. And then, interesting, this is Downfall. I do think there's a lot of people that didn't do the work
Mm-hmm.
and kept cluttering it more and more because they couldn't be alone. And we need that peace of mind, being alone and not cluttering it with other things and other people and afraid to be alone. Stop being afraid to be alone in yourself. And I mean, even if it's just an hour of time for yourself, or, you know, taking a time for a pedicure and not turning on the electronics, just sitting there and thinking, or whatever you do.
Mindfulness.
Yeah.
Being present in the moment.
Do some meditation. If you don't know how, look it up online. There is guided meditation. There's ways to teach you meditation that will help you. We need this, and I think this is what's gone wrong with so much of the world, why we're having all these angry people, and you know, it's coming out. Yes, there's a lot of bad things coming out. I'm hoping it's kind of a cleansing.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
it's terrible, but one way or another, as I
Terrible
said,
things are necessary to keep the balance.
exactly. It's all about balance. And then our final card is the castle card, and it's a woman where the castle is off in the distance, dreaming of bigger things, dreaming of, you know, pie in the sky, in my opinion. And I think that that is a realization as well, that that's not always the best thing. Coming back to nature, coming back to ourselves, are the new dream. Getting